NBA Top Shot is huge. I think NBA Top Shot is going to be extremely big for a very long time to come.
Ladies and scrubs, our top story is the continuing decline of the sports card market. Employees are being laid off by the dozen, businesses are being broken into, and the prices of your favorite pictures of men continue to decline. Yeah. Let's dive headfirst into the train wreck that is the current state of the sports card industry. All the major sports card indices were down for the week. Football and basketball leading the downfall with a 2.5% decline. Businesses for the grading companies is slipping, guys. PSA's business is down 18% month over month. SGC is down 7%. It's crazy how far behind the other grading companies are to PSA. None of their competitors are even 1/10 their size. That should worry the hobby positivity crowd.
Here the fuck we go!
If another boom happens to your beloved sports card industry, only one grading company might be capable of handling any booming business, and that is PSA. Let's take a look at some individual cards. Here is a 2013-14 Panini Prism Gold of Giannis Antetokounmpo. Before I get into that, I want to address some criticism that I received on a recent video. It appears some woke card fondlers are offended at the way I pronounce Giannis's name. Many of you have never been outside of your suburban gated neighborhood and don't realize that Giannis spends much of the off-season in a central California town called Fresno. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is going around the streets of Fresno, California, throwing around the soft G, trying to act like you're woke or you're Greek. Or you're from France or wherever. So before you get into my comments being the pronunciation police, head out to Fresno, California and throw around the soft G and see how fast you run back to your soft neighborhoods that you grew up in. So I only show this Giannis card to compare it to a couple other cards actually. So $115,000 for Giannis. In the same auction, this gold prism number to 10 Paolo Banchero card sold for $36,000, about 1/3 the price. I'll say this since Jeff Wilson never told you guys this.
Boba Shat.
Paolo Banchero would be lucky to have the career that Giannis Antetokounmpo has had. I bet the person who bought this Banchero card thinks it has a little bit more than 3x upside in it. Maybe not. Maybe they think they can get 50,000 out of it, 75,000 out of it. Here is the downside, though, for this card. Here is a Jaylen Brown gold prism that sold for $8,400 in the same auction. Banchero would honestly be lucky to have as good a career as Jaylen Brown. Brown plays for a more well-known team, has had success. Who's to say Banchero will ever be a better player or more popular than Jaylen Brown? So in my opinion, the hobby's still spending too much money on unproven player. For example, many of you had to update your Instagram and Twitter bios recently to remove Ja Morant from the list of pictures of men you collect for your PC. And I actually want to take a moment of silence right now for the former Ja Morant PC crowd. Here's a mosaic gold of Ja Morant that just a few months ago was worth around $5,000. This guy might miss most of next season because he, like most of your wives, can't keep their private life off social media.
I want to say this, sports card radio, you should be ashamed of yourself.
You've seen similar trends to Luka, Trae Young, Zion, and Ja cards. They explode at the beginning of their career with the hype cycle and then decline when weaknesses in their game, personal issues arise, or their fitness levels become apparent. You'll do a similar thing to Victor Wembanyama and his cards. Many in the hobby just see a guy that is 7'5". Everyone is telling you that he's the next big thing, but many have no idea how he'll fit in on either side of the basketball court for a few years. I could see where Wembanyama might be a more productive defensive player than offensive, and I'm not sure the hobby is quite prepared for that.
That's not content.
Here's another guy probably overhyped. $24,000 is just too much for a 7th-round quarterback who honestly will get hurt again probably this season. I've had 49ers season tickets for a number of years. Big Joe Montana fan, so I'm not trying to be a hater here, but I'd be surprised if the Purdy train just keeps rolling along. He had a huge injury during the playoffs that he's literally just now recovering from. The 49ers have a good defense, good offensive scheme, but probably another situation where someone is likely buying this as a investment, but it's an overpay for an unproven player. Jeff Wilson said these 1986-87 Fleer Michael Jordan rookie cards in PSA 9 condition would never drop below $10,000 again. when he called the bottom in the sports card market since 6 months ago. Just keeping an eye on Jeff and his predictions.
When it comes to Ben Simmons, I am buying.
Modern wrestling cards, guys, continue to pop. $10,000 for a rock gold prism is huge. $4,500 for a Cactus Jack 1 of 1. That's big money. $1,500 for a John Cena gold prism seems very strong as well. Other cards, guys, selling for good money. Luis Matos red refractor number to 5, $2,400. This guy is tearing it up in AAA, and every single Giants fan is hoping he gets the call pretty soon. If you don't know or are not familiar with the names I'm about to share next, you need to stop calling yourself a basketball card investor. $2,600 for a Monte Ellis exquisite rookie card. Before Steph and Clay, it was Steph and Tay, guys, who played together in Golden State before Ellis was traded for Andrew Bogut. How about $1,100 for a Danny Granger exquisite rookie? Granger was a really good player for the Indiana Pacers many, many years ago before you guys got back into collecting. How about $719 for a Daniel Ewing autograph? Even I had to dip back in my memory bank and remember his brief NBA career. How about $632 for Nate Robinson in his rookie card? Nate was a fun player to watch for many years. And hopefully you guys have had fun today, and we will see you back here on Sports Card Radio very, very soon.
Like, you invest in tech companies by day. What is your job? that you've had?
Well, so I first and foremost, I own a growth agency called 352. We help companies with their digital marketing strategy, and we help them with